Hello, students and parents that might be watching this video. Welcome to the 2018-2019 school year. I'm Mrs. Angleton, and this is 7th and 8th grade language arts and the 7th and 8th grade language arts syllabus video so that you don't have to have the hard copy at home. However, parents, if you would like a hard copy of the syllabus, will be on PowerSchool to be viewed at any time. This video as well as the actual document. And then if you have a need to have a hard copy, you can just shoot me an email and I will print one and send it home with your kiddo. So for language arts, a class overview of what this class is about. Language arts is sort of a very broad topic that has anything to do with communication. So in this class we read, we think about what we read, then we try to communicate our thoughts about what we read through discussions and writings. Basically it's essential skills to everything in life, everything that is needed for all jobs, sort of those basic skills to be able to communicate, to write, to be able to read and understand what other people said and interpret that. That is what language arts is about. So it's about the arts, the art of language, about communication. Okay. I'm going to go through some questions that most students have and parents have throughout the year, and that will make up the basis of our syllabus here. So what we learn each quarter, we sort of have a writing focus each quarter. First quarter is narrative, paragraphs and essays. Second quarter is expository paragraphs and essays. Third quarter is persuasive, and fourth quarter is creative writing. So in first quarter we read some short stories, and then we also write narrative paragraphs and essays about what we are reading and thinking about. Second quarter, in 7th grade we read the book Two Old Women. And 8th grade, we read cultural hero type stories. That is incorrect. I just realized that is wrong. So in 8th grade, first quarter, we do cultural stories. In second quarter, we do dystopian short stories. So, dystopian short stories. These are dystopian type literature stories, similar, not necessarily Hunger Games, but similar style to that, and they're short stories instead of an entire novel. Third quarter, we read Second Neutral for the 7th grade. There will be lots of information provided about that at the beginning of the third quarter. Watch your PowerSchool because there is quite a few issues that arise with that book that make students think and sometimes makes them uncomfortable. So those are great conversations to have at home. And then 8th grade, we look at How They Croaked, which is, we do not read the whole book. It's a bunch of informational texts about how famous people throughout history have died. So we read those short articles and then compare them to some other articles about those same people. And then fourth quarter, we read some poetry, we watch some short videos, we interpret them, and then we write our own. Okay, what materials do students need to bring to class every day? Every single day, a student needs to have in their possession a notebook that can be left in class. So if they bring their notebook at the beginning of the year, which I'll ask them to do, put their name on it and put it in the box on their table, they will not need to remember that. That'll be here always. That is my preference, that it is in the room all the time and they are always ready for that. So if their notebook is here, the only thing they need to bring with them every day is a pencil or pen and an independent reading book, which we will be checking out here in the next week. Those are things that are essential every single day in this class. If you can't have something to write with, if you don't have something to write with and write on, there's not a lot you can do in language arts. So students always ask, but I need to go to the bathroom, I need to go to my locker, what do I do? Essentially, I just need you to fill out one of the passes on the folders that you got in your health class, hand it to me, I will sign it, and you will go. There won't be a lot of discussion. I sort of trust that they're starting to learn, students are starting to learn how to keep track of themselves and know when they need to go to the restroom and when they don't, what they need from their locker. So they fill out their pass and sign it and hand it to me. However, if they're irresponsible with their passes and they have no more passes, or if they don't have it with them, no pass, don't even ask. You don't have a pass, you're not going to the hallway. Unless there's an emergency situation where students have to go to the bathroom, or if they have a bloody nose, if they really have to go to the bathroom. If it's an emergency type of situation, that is an exception, and I will make an exception for that. This class will be like this. The schedule is also on the board over there, so students can look at it all the time. But on most weeks, most full weeks, so Monday through Friday weeks, Mondays they will write a paragraph a week and finish any work from Friday and read independently. On Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, they will need to complete 3 different activities at 3 different stations, and they will be rotating through those. So they will complete the same 3 activities as everyone else, but at different days, so that we can kind of divide and conquer, and then I can spend more individual time with students. They will be rotated based on their groupings in the room. There's 3 groupings: the Trekkies, the Hoovians, and the Potterheads, and they will be given specific instructions based on the grouping that they are in at that location. Friday, they will read the class-assigned readings and complete any quizzes or classwork based on those readings. Fridays, they will probably, if they haven't already, they will also upload their online portfolio to Seesaw, which you guys will be getting information coming home soon about. If everyone is doing what they need to do, then when they need to do it, students can expect a goofy, fun learning environment. So this type of environment in here is, I like it very structured, as in students use their time very, very well in class, but if there are no issues, then they can relax, they can lay on the floor, they can sit on the couch, they can spread out and let things kind of be. So it should be a fun, goofy environment. I tend to be really silly with the kids, and that will continue as long as everyone's doing what they need to be doing, and I don't have to intervene in students' behaviors to help them. What work will they have to do? Students' grades will consist of 2 different sort of categories in the gradebook that you will see in the gradebook. Classwork category is 70% of their grade, and then the assessment category is 30% of their grade. So the classwork category will include everything that they do in their notebooks, the starter questions at the beginning of the day, and this work that they do in their stations. They will also have some independent reading expectations. They need to read at least 1 independent reading book per quarter in their Lexile range, and then take a Scholastic Reading Counts quiz at the end of every quarter. So that will also fall under the classwork category. They will have paragraph of the weeks. Sometimes we will do those as just practice. Other times the paragraph of the week will be an assessment, and it will be something we've been working on for a few weeks, and this time I'm going to grade it and give them an assessment grade on it. There's the collaborative work. Sometimes students will work together in their stations and do work together, and then there will also be work on the computer, where they must watch a video, maybe do some discussion questions on it. They will also have their portfolio submissions on Seesaw, which I mentioned a minute ago. There's a quarterly assessment at the district level. I like to put this in the classwork category because it's a timed essay, and it's hard for students to do their best work in that amount of time. So we look at it more on their progress throughout their career, as opposed to sort of a test about what they're learning right now. Then we have the assessment category, where I said already, paragraph of the week will be in that assessment category, as will big quizzes that we have based on our readings. They will be graded on the classic A, B, C, D, F scale. A is 90 through 100%, B is 80 to 89, C is 70 to 79, D is 60 to 69, and below 60 is considered a failing grade in the middle school world. All classwork will be checked by the teacher on Fridays. So on Fridays, I will call each kid up to my desk, and we will look at their notebook and the classwork they were supposed to be completed on that, and they get grades based on completion for that. So they were here, they did it, awesome. They get their points, because that is meant to be sort of a practice type, follow along, learn as you go. Don't feel like you're going to be graded based on failure type of work. Assessments are graded as follows. 50% of the grade will be based on following directions and completion of the assignment. The other 50% of the grade will be based on a rubric. This is a sample rubric that's kind of a basis, but each assignment is slightly different and has a slightly different rubric. But it's essentially 50% completion, you filled out everything, and then we score each question or paragraph based on the content and the thought and the work that went into it. So that means that if you're paying attention, 70% of a student's grade is just completion and following directions. So if students show up and try on everything and do everything that they have been asked to do, then they should end up with a 70% in class, even if they struggle greatly in all other areas. What do I do if I miss a day of class? Check PowerSchool, check Canvas, ask a friend, talk to the teacher before class or school, but please do not interrupt the teacher during class to ask what you missed the day before. That is something that is a student's responsibility to make sure that they know what's going on before they walk into the room. And if they're sitting there after an absence, chances are they're going to be a little bit confused by that. And it's not fair to the rest of the students who didn't miss the day before to spend class time talking directly to that student about what they missed. And absolutely, I will talk to students about what they missed and help them, but there are other resources for them that, other than asking me during class time, that interrupts the current learning environment. And if they try to work on what they missed yesterday today, then they'll miss things today, and then it will be a continual cycle that they're missing. So they need to work on makeup work for missing assignments outside of class time, preferably before they return. Can they turn in work late? Work that is to be completed in the notebooks, that would be your starter questions and your station work, cannot be turned in late. Basically, if they're here and then on Friday I check their notebook and they just did not complete that work, that is a final grade. So notebook grades, starters and station grades are final grades. If they were here and they did it, they should have all of their work done, and they should have a 12 out of 12 or 10 out of 10 or however many things they were asked to complete that day. So each thing that I asked them to complete throughout the week in their notebook is 1 point in the grade book. It's only 1 point, so it's not going to make or break their grade. However, if they see in the PowerSchool on Tuesday morning that their grade for starters and stations the week before is a 10 out of 12, that means that they did 10 out of 12 of the things they were asked to do the week before. So it's kind of a way for them to check how well they are using their time in class as well, to say, hey, I did only 5 out of 12 of the things I was supposed to do last week. That's not good. I need to focus better in class and try to use my time a little well in class instead of maybe talking to my friends the whole time. Anything that's a hand-in work, like a piece of paper, discussion questions from our class reading or quizzes, things like that, that go in the basket, those can be turned in late. However, that is up to, there's a 10% deduction for every week that it is late. So if it's not turned in time, you can still turn it in, absolutely still turn it in. I'll take 10% off to try to discourage kids from just turning things in all the time late, up to 40% off. So if they turn it in more than 4 weeks late, then the best that they could get on that is 60%. But that's better than a 0 substantially in the gradebook. What do I do when I have a missing assignment? Do it ASAP. Do it, do it, do it. Do it on your own time or during FOL time. Please do not continue letting a missing assignment sit in the gradebook forever. Those zeros will kill your grade long term. And at the end of the quarter, I'll be handing out missing assignment sheets. And if you still have one, you'll have to do it before we do the end of the quarter reward. So it's very important for you to just do them as soon as possible. If you need time in class, sign up for FOL to show up to be here. What if I don't finish my reading class on a reading day or miss the reading day? That is pretty much going to just be look at it on your own time. We have all of our readings, short stories on PowerSchool and Canvas. Some of the longer novels we aren't allowed to put on PowerSchool or Canvas, but you can come to class during FOL time to make that up. Can you redo work? Like I said earlier, if it's an assessment, yes, you may redo it one time. If it's classwork that you were supposed to do in your notebook, no, you may not redo it. That should have been done in class. What do you do if you think you turned in an assignment but it's marked as missing? Chances are you didn't turn it in. I will look in all the piles, but if everything is graded and I still don't have it, then you probably just thought you did and you didn't. Your grade will be updated in Power School Monday evenings at 5 p.m. I make sure all of those are in before I leave the school. If you lose a handout, there are extra copies in the black box by the door. If you come to class unprepared, please remedy the situation now, right?